Much of the bullying stemmed from an incident in her first year, of which a teacher refused to allow Jen to use the toilet, resulting in Jen wetting herself and being made to sit in soiled clothes for the rest of the day. Why would a school do that? Wouldn't that just smell bad? Why would you want somebody what the fuck? The teacher faced no repercussions. Jen began self-harming and running away from home, and the only adult she felt she could confide in committed suicide around this time. Into adolescence, Jen had no stable sense of self-worth and no adults constantly protected that advocated for her. Her self-harm worsened and she experienced suicidal thoughts. Yet safeguarding responses remained absent. Jen began to believe that she was not worth protecting, and as a result became increasingly vulnerable to exploitation. At 13, adult men began contacting her online, giving her a sense of validation and belonging. Sexual conversations were common, including one man encouraging Jen to insert a knife into her vagina. This is a 13-year-old girl. At 15, offline grooming began with a group of white British men who presented themselves as sympathetic friends to the vulnerable Jen. Though she was not raped by these men, one told her that touching was okay, but we can't have intercourse until 16 because of the law. Wow, what gentlemen. At the age of 17, Jen was introduced to a gang of Iraqi Kurdish Muslim men by a friend who she now believes was herself groomed. And this is what happened in the Epstein files too, you've got to keep in mind, is that the girls that are groomed and then they age out of the age that the men are attracted to are then used to bring in the next crop of girls after that. This is super, super common. Happens all the time. Generational grooming. The gang members, all of whom were illegal migrants. Oh, good. Trafficked Jen to numerous towns and cities across the Midlands where she was raped by multiple men at what was described as parties. At one occasion, she was anally raped in the park by one of the gang members. She was taken on drug runs and witnessed the slaughtering of a lamb in the bathroom of a house. She described a closed and intimidating social world governed by fear, loyalty, and silence, in which racially supremacist attitudes were openly and regularly expressed. White British people were described as white trash, and white girls as English pig dogs. Perpetrators insisted that children choose exploitation, and Britain and its institutions were described as soft and easy to exploit. Well, they were right. They boasted receiving free money from the British state on multiple occasions, and Jen was forced to fill an asylum benefit application on their behalf.